theme. This is not the first time you're hearing about zoning. It usually comes around the time when, you know, elections are just around the corner. Sometimes we hear, and it's usually just with ODM.
Yeah.
ODM is always looking out for, you know, parties to, or things to be zoned, counties, people, aspirants and all. What's your take on this?
Thank you. Zoning, we look at it in two ways. One, from the party level, and of course from the candidates or aspirants level. And these are conversations that keeps coming, like we've said, keeps coming around the biggest party we've had so far, ODM. And when it comes up, they are always so keen to look at it and, of course, push and pull. But looking at it, zoning will entirely deny many people an opportunity to have their candidates at the ballot. And the ripple effect of that is likely to be voter apathy. Because as it stands right now, it's only Raila Odinga who could whip the entire Nyanza to vote in a certain direction. But as it stands today, there is no that one person, not even William Ruto himself, who can go and lower Nyanza and tell them that this is the direction. Everybody today has a candidate that they feel like it's an opportune time for these people to also get a taste of the leadership, so they can offer whatever it is that they can offer. So talking about zoning and zoning out other parties, then it means that those areas that have been zoned out will only have one party to run with. So then if ODM decides to mess their nominations, then it means that other candidates will not have the opportunity to even fill themselves unless they want to go independent. And you know, going an independent candidate is not an easy work. So where does this leave the democracy that Raila himself fought for a long time? Democracy dictates that people should be given an opportunity to offer themselves for choices of the majority. That is the citizens, the voters.
But we also know that Raila Odinga was also on record when we were live, also championing for zoning. And case in point, that one, was it Madare or Madira, where the musician was contesting?
It was in Madare, where Bahati was running.
And he publicly, this is Raila Odinga, publicly announced that he had, you know, prompted another candidate to vie on the ODM ticket, and he was telling Bahati,
who was on Jubilee,
at the time, that they will give him something or a position in government.
Odida, let me make this clear, and my brother alluded to it. Nairobi as a county, if you are in a coalition, you have to agree which parties are fielding. For instance, in the United Alternative Government, as of today, the parties that are likely to have strengths in Nairobi is DStv, Wiper, and slightly Jubilee. But then these three parties must sit down and agree that if we are going to field a senatorial candidate and Ken Babu is our candidate, then we cannot have any other candidate running for the same seat within this coalition to increase chances of us getting that seat. Get that? Because if we have Wiper fielding, DStv fielding, Jubilee fielding, DAP fielding for senatorial candidate, then it means that if UDA or Broadbase fronts one candidate and they push him or her strongly, we are likely to go home. So a county like Nairobi demands strategic zoning, where the coalition will sit down and agree to produce one candidate. That is what happened to Bahati in Madare. Not necessarily Raila was crying that, but Raila was just reducing the
case. Ken, doesn't it lock out new aspirants or people who want to just vie for political?
I'm coming to that.